Hi, readers.
It's Katie.
Can you tell we're not scripted this time?
Nope. This is a book chat. Basically, the fun part of book clubs, when you just talk about all of the stupid book things that you've been doing that take up probably like 90% of your life. That's what this is. Hi.
Hi. We don't have enough time. Like, despite doing almost 4 episodes a week on certain weeks, we don't get to all of the books that we actually are reading or not finishing. So this is kind of why we're here.
And book-related news, book-related drama, gossip.
That don't get covered in our Hot and Bothered episodes.
Yeah. Which, good time for a plug. We are on Patreon. If you want access to our special Hot and Bothered episodes, find us on Patreon, Not Another Heroine.
Also, okay, so part of the reason why we wanted to talk to y'all today is Quicksilver, which is getting a lot of hype on every platform. I finally caved and downloaded the sample. I am pleasantly surprised that it's not awful.
Do you want me to ruin your life now or later?
No, but just get it over with, I guess.
So I don't know if anybody else has heard about this, but apparently there was a little bit of drama about the cover, because he's crying in it, but it looks not like tears streaming down his face. So go ahead and just look at the cover and I mean, you can't do something like that to an audience of, readers who like their smut. I think we just broke Jordan, maybe.
I'm only like 20% in. Yeah. Did not need that. Well, this is also one that's getting made for TV. I think Hulu or Netflix. I think maybe Netflix picked this one up.
Interesting.
So, I mean, there's something to it. We are going to read Quicksilver for our Tawdry Tuesday episodes. So if you want to find our full take on Quicksilver, it's going to be available on our Patreon. So far, so good. It has a lot of the same vibes as ACOTAR, as Fourth Wing, as Serpent in the Wings of Night. It makes me wonder, same publisher or same agent, same editor team, or it's just how the industry works now. Like they're working, like they know how to pick up on okay, this is where we introduce secondary character XYZ, but it's a formula. It's obviously successful for a reason, but we're going to read it. We're going to cave to the masses.
Honestly. Also, speaking of things similar to ACOTAR, I went to Barnes & Noble the other day and I got the Black Jewel series by Anne Bishop. I want to know. I want the receipts. I'm going to read. I'm going to compare. I'm going to create, a Supreme Court, dossier. And we are going to see if these two books are similar or not.
Anne Bishop is such a classic in fantasy.
Have you read Anne Bishop?
No.
Oh.
But
you are the guru of all knowledge related to fantasy.
So it was impossible to be in a library or be in a bookstore in the early 2000s, I would say, without running into these books because they're staples. That's
interesting.
No words are hard for me apparently.
Honestly, same. I tried to say shelf 15 times.
I'm gonna keep all of those in there.
That's good. Yeah, it's not a hard word to pronounce apparently, but
have you started?
Black Jewels?
Yeah.
No, it is sitting on my table underneath a children's book about a snail named escargot. It's super cute. There's French words in it, so I feel very fancy when I'm reading it.
Still better than Fourth Wing.
Honestly. That is disturbingly true.
But what's the name of the first book in the Black Jewels? Do you remember?
I could not tell you because I just got the giant chunky textbook size trilogy version. My partner looked like I was crazy when I went and grabbed it. He's like, okay, is that a dictionary or what is that?
Those fall into the category of well-intentioned TBRs where you're supposed to read them. Yeah. So you buy them thinking one day I will read this book, and then they just sit on your shelf. I have a whole shelf of TBRs.
I was about to say, I think a lot of these are.
Yeah, but Anne Bishop is Kushiel's Dart. Have you heard of that one too?
Is that by Anne Bishop?
No, it's not.
Okay. But I was like, whoa.
but the same era book. It's also lauded as the same level of fantasy romantasy as well.
Yeah, because that one's talked about all the time on the fantasy romantasy subreddit. Why are all of those words so difficult to put together?
Words are just difficult today, apparently, for both of us.
Yeah, If you find that words are difficult and you want something cheesy, reality TV adjacent, I started reading The Dixon Rule as an audiobook. Girl, I cannot.
More hockey romances.
I love it so much. It's so good.
Okay, let me interrupt you. I was
Yes.
so excited because you texted me last night, hey, this is actually really good. Please read it. And I downloaded it. I started reading, and then I skimmed a few pages forward, and this...
I sent her a screenshot and then I just got Katie, all caps. And I was like, oh no. It's dual POV.
I can't do dual POV, and it is entirely a me problem because there's nothing wrong with dual POV first person. Like, especially third person, multiple perspectives, no issues with that. But the minute I get
Interesting.
especially in a romantic novel with the dude's perspective and the chick's perspective, both written in first person, it's like, are you really going to try and convince me that you can convincingly like depict these two very different characters?
Oh, that's fair.
Instead of just the fantasy version of the one character.
Yeah, I do think that Elle Kennedy does a decent job, but I think it's augmented by the fact that I'm consuming these as audiobooks and you're getting like an actual dude reading it. So you're like, oh yeah, this is totally a dude.
Yes, I could read that.
Yeah.
But
God, it's so good. And then Elle Kennedy is also coming out with the third book in this series, The Charlie Method, 25 February. You already know I got it pre-ordered. Except this one is about the friend who prefers group sex to, one-on-one experiences. So I weirdly am kind of like about the smut in these, but I just want to know the like emotional turmoil that I can imagine someone would go through in that, situation. Because it's one of those like, are you in love with your best friend, or is it just like the experience that you prefer, or what?
you're going to be reading that one on your own, dude.
Yeah, probably.
No.
Yeah. Probably also not in front of my child, but yeah, The Charlie Method, 25 February. I'm very excited.
In the complete opposite direction of like on the like horizon reading, I started
I was about to say, I don't know how you're going to say this, but
so they tell you in the book how to say his name, and it's Dr. Darko, Sorcerer of London.
Isn't that a movie? Donnie Darko?
Donnie Darko.
Oh, there we go.
Movie.
Sorry.
But there's no apostrophe in the Donnie Darko version. So this is a book that's also highly recommended on, the Romantasy subreddit. It is a monster. It's like 900 pages. And it is so very slow, and slow in the sense that it takes its time explaining the surroundings and giving you very like atmospheric descriptions. And I get it. I see where it's going, and I'm desperately trying to get into it because I like the idea of the heroine. She's a widow. Her husband was kind of a douchebag. Like, okay, like I like that. And so she goes to like a magical like school in 1800s London, and she gets apprenticed to this Dr. Darko, who is this big baddie sorcerer.
Okay.
But I don't know, maybe 100 pages in, and it is still like in the very beginning. Like not much has happened aside from her apprenticeship. So I hope I can finish this, but I don't know if I can. And so many people praise this book, and I think it's because it is so well written. Like it's labeled as like a gothic romance, and it's written like one. So very, literary.
Yeah. Is it Kindle Unlimited?
I think so. Yes.
Also
no,
available.
paper page.
That is an upcoming episode of our Hot and Bothered on our Patreon. We dig into the whole paper page thing for Kindle Unlimited. Quite juicy, very interesting.
I feel betrayed. I've forgotten about that.
Yeah. Well, on the flip side of payment into, works for charity and the good of all mankind, GreenTeaCup started posting new chapters of Lionheart again.
Oh, this one. I'm like, who the fuck is GreenTeaCup?
I can see the confusion on your face. I love this. I have not quite convinced Jordan to start reading it. It's a rewrite of all of the Harry Potters.
Absolutely not. I did not like Harry Potter that much.
This is so much better, though. It just trust me. Draco is put into Gryffindor and hijinks ensue. The romance, I might just send you like one of the interactions they have in this, like, because I think she's on like book 5. This person is just God's, gift to man. I can't put words to it, but I will just send you the little romance chunk from this previous chapter, because like the way it's written, the longing, the angst, the dialogue, the like.
Is there fake dating?
Secret dating, and they have to pretend like they're friends, because like Ron obviously still has feelings for Hermione, but they're all friends, so they're trying to like navigate that. But then like Draco and Ron are kind of like at each other's throats, and they're like, we have something special, and it's like, well, we're making out. Oh my God, I fucking love it. Yeah, Lionheart, GreenTeaCup.
No.
Sorry, I'm actually not sorry. I love it.
Well, Romancing the War is another Harry Potter fan fiction.
Oh, I was wondering what this was.
I wanted so much to like this one, and I got 60%-ish through it,
Wow.
but it's a hard stop for me on this one. Like, and it's pretty well written, but I think it fell into the trap that fan fiction can fall into, which is, it's just a mechanism for the reader to fall in love with their favorite character rather than writing a romance between two characters. This is not Hermione. This is, can you take a guess?
Snape.
Yep.
There it is. Sure. I love it. No judgment here.
Okay, the premise, though, is fascinating because Hermione returns to Hogwarts for her 8th year.
Oh, okay.
And everyone is bitching about Snape. Like, oh, he's a traitor. Oh, he doesn't deserve this. Like, he's, teaching still. And so she feels so righteous on Snape's behalf that Hermione sets out to write a serialized romance. I told you about this one.
Oh my God.
And it's so good because it kind of, it pokes at the fourth wall a little bit about how like romance writers like pace out their like physical intimacy scenes, right? It's like, oh, well, I need to have like that took the readers in. So she throws in like a wet dream or something in like the first like couple chapters. So it's really cute. I like the idea, but what had happened by about 60%, it feels like Hermione isn't really a character anymore. It's just a vessel for the reader to, interact with Snape.
Yeah.
And they also mischaracterize Snape too. Like he's kind of this dark and brooding, obviously, but like this womanizer type where he is able to like,
Okay, Snape, I see you.
like they're not on equal footing, and when you have a student teacher dynamic, you can't have additional factors that emphasize that gap.
Yeah.
And so
That's fair.
I'm stopping.
Yeah.
But it was a good attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that would kind of give me the ick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly where I was. This is icky. You have, if you're gonna do that power dynamic issue, it's got to be very, very careful. And SenLinYu did that well with. Don't Go Gentle. I think that's what it's called.
Something Gentle Night.
Yes.
Because it's a line off the poem, right?
Yes.
Okay. What is the space movie that has that in that?
You lost me, Katie.
Interstellar. Isn't it based off of?
I don't know.
I'm not a movie buff, I swear.
But we are going to read Do Not Go Gentle.
Yes.
It's on our horizon for one of our post days. We don't know which one yet, but we're going to read it.
Guess what else is also on the horizon? We've talked about it before. I'm not going to be able to say this word, alchemized, but that's not how you say it. I'm just going to be wrong. I have embraced my wrongness.
Alchemized.
So much worse. Alchemized.
SenLinYu, Alchemized.
The cover came out.
It's so pretty.
So beautiful.
September 30th, 2025. We are reading it.
I already
Pre-ordered it. Yep.
Yeah, whoopsie. I also heard a rumor that Avondale, who does the illustrations for Manacled, is doing illustrations for the actual published book. And like, I'm almost more excited for that than I am for like the content of the book. They're beautiful. They make me feel things. The way she draws
everything.
They draw Draco's jaw in all of the pictures. Just like sends me through the roof. I don't know what it is. Jawline, apparently, but
I'm not mad about it. Like, please, all the artwork.
Continue.
But it was such a power play on the publisher's part to be like, this fanfic writer is so well known. We don't need her, like her real name or like an actual normal pen name. We're just going to publish it under SenLinYu.
Because what is her actual name?
I don't know.
I am not seeing it anywhere. Maybe she's just going by SenLinYu. That's a vibe.
Yeah.
I feel that. Just full power move.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
Oh, no, she has her picture. But I feel like it'd be kind of nice to like have a degree of anonymity. There we go. Nice. But her picture's out there. Unless they got one of the, what is it called when you hire someone else to be your like picture person in the back cover? There was a Bones episode about it. This is super obscure. Never mind. But yeah, SenLinYu. The cover is beautiful. Go pre-order it. I already did. It's like $30 though.
I'm fine with that.
I mean,
honestly. Manacled was free, so I'll pay $30 for that.
That's fair. Wow. She's just getting her her dues.
Exactly.
Wow.
And think of all the people who are selling the bound copies of Manacled for like outrageous prices.
You're not allowed to. It's illegal.
Yes, exactly.
Public service notice. Don't do it.
I would buy Alchemized if it were $40 or $50. Frankly.
I would too, honestly.
Yeah.
I would pay extra for the little like illustrations by Avondale too.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. But what we will not be reading. 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, no.
Okay. So, all right.
A good note to end on.
We will close out with this. So we had originally planned to read 50 Shades of Grey for a Tawdry Tuesday episode. Yeah. And I downloaded it yesterday. I tried. I got like 3 pages in. And what killed me was not the whole premise, because Tawdry Tuesday is like kind of our theme, right? But
NSFW.
the character, what the fuck is her name?
Anastasia?
Yeah, whatever. She describes herself driving her friend's Mercedes up to Seattle, and she says, "I put the pedal to the metal." Like, no, come on. Can we, like, a slight creativity in our...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I almost feel like when you read that book, you have to transport yourself to... Because, like, when was it published?
After Twilight.
Shades of Grey. Because it was
2010s.
fan fiction of...
Yeah.
I almost wonder if you'd enjoy it more if you, like, came from the perspective as if you were reading it.
No.
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 Aggressive, no.
Absolutely not. It's just, it feels... Like I told you this yesterday. It feels like an older person created their idea of a relatable 20-year-old, which is not accurate in any way, and tried to deliver this as a mechanism, like a fantasy fulfillment thing, which is
fine.
But can we just have good writing at least?
Honestly. I thought it came out way earlier than it did, but 2011.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's not an acceptable phrase to use in 2011
No,
either.
So yeah, we're not doing 50 Shades of Grey anymore. Quicksilver took its place. It will be so much better.
Fingers crossed. Let's not knock on wood. Mm-hmm. Well, from our shelf to yours.
We will see you on the next page.
Boop.